babies. Gotta love those babies.
Hello there once again. We're on our sixth ascent up the Malvern Hills on the Everest appeal, the My Everest campaign. And once we've finished today's ascent, that will mark a third of the height of Everest that we will have climbed. And I'm absolutely delighted to announce that today we have reached half of our appeal target. We've reached £2,000. That's just over 1,700 on the Just Giving page and 300 that have been generously sent directly to the Gifts for Dyslexia bank account. And we're extremely grateful to all the generous people who have donated so kindly. We're now moving forward and hoping very much to achieve our full target of £4,000, which will make a huge difference to many dyslexic individuals and families, and perhaps even exceed that target. And so today I thought I would talk about my boots. Not a particularly scintillating topic in itself, but as I mentioned on the first day, when we were talking about getting ready for a Davis program, I bought these boots new. This is the one new thing that I bought in order to be comfortable and sort of safe walking up the hills. And it's an interesting process when you buy a new pair of shoes. Obviously you go into a shop, and as I did, tried on several pairs, and there were 2 or 3 different pairs that I liked the look of, but they didn't actually fit, and I realized that very quickly when I put them on. So then I found that this pair did fit and they felt comfortable. So the next thing I had to do was then to walk around a little bit in the shop in order to see how they were, to put them to work and see how they were when I'm actually walking around. Then the first 2 or 3 ascents up the hills, they felt a bit kind of rigid. They felt rather new and not entirely comfortable. And now they've been trodden in and they're absolutely beautifully comfortable, and they kind of almost feel as if they're a part of me. And there's a similarity there with the orientation tools that we give to our clients in a Davis Dyslexia or a Davis Autism program. So in a Davis Dyslexia program, we have a choice between 2 different orientation tools that we can give to the person we're going to work with. Now, orientation, if you remember from yesterday's video, is when your mind is seeing what your eyes are seeing, it's hearing what your ears are hearing, your sense of balance is optimal, your sense of time is consistent. And an orientation tool is a mental tool or device that you can use in order consciously to place yourself into that state, to turn off a disorientation, which is when your mind sees what it's creating, sees and hears what it's creating, and to place yourself in a state of orientation. And some people who kind of look superficially at the Davis program from the outside, I've heard it said, oh, it's that thing where they put 3 anchor lines on your head and then you can read. Now that's a very superficial view of what we do. The orientation tool is one piece to a much bigger puzzle, as we'll be unfolding as we go on through the later talks we're going to give you. But with the orientation tool itself, it isn't about giving a person an orientation tool, or it isn't just about that. It's about then showing the person how to use it and giving the person loads of practice in utilizing it. So in the Davis Dyslexia program, we have a choice between 2 orientation tools that we can give to an individual. In the Davis Autism program, there's a 3rd means of orientation, and in fact even a 4th. And so what it's always about at the start, for us facilitators, it's about finding the right orientation tool to give to the client, the one that's going to serve the client best, just like me trying on the different pairs of shoes in the shop until I found the ones that fit. Then it's about creating an exercise in a dyslexia program where the person will get real experience of using the orientation tool. We call that reading for disorientation, and it's an exercise where you do something, typically reading, that causes you to disorientate because something trips you up or you make a mistake, and it triggers a disorientation. But when you disorientate, you then get to use your orientation tool in reorientating. And so then we keep going at that exercise until the person has had plenty of practice at disorientating, using the tool to reorientate. Disorientating, using the tool to reorientate, until the person feels confident and certain at doing that. Then we keep on using the orientation tool right the way through the program. There's a phenomenon called drifting that often happens when a person's mind is, if you like, getting used to the new tool and the new kind of the shift in perspective that the tool often gives. And that's perhaps a little bit similar to me treading my shoes in until they feel absolutely natural. Then in a dyslexia program, on the third day of a program, we have a process called fine-tuning, where then the orientation is adjusted, is adjusted to an optimal location using balance feedback. And so I really feel today that my boots are fine-tuned, and I'm looking forward to carrying on up the path.